friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction live stream number 23. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, it is that time to get into another one of these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious. What the is going on type of videos. And this time, Bean Team, we are back for another live stream. Hope y'all doing excellent out there today. And I'm glad that you came on back to the channel once again to Elf with the Bean. And Bean Team, before we even get started, y'all already know I gotta go to the comment section to give a shout out to everybody in the live chat. Starting with Vendetta Odin. A good lineup tonight for sure. Let's get it. Hope the Bean Team is doing well. I'm doing well. I hope the Bean Team, like I said, is doing excellent out there today. And I hope you're doing well too, Vendetta. Shout out to you, always showing up. We got our girl Lively Galaxy in the building once again. She says, woo, woo. My boy LSB Ice, aka the Chef, my nephew, says, turn up. We got Lively again with some emojis. We got Lively, what it do, Bing. And we got Southern Girl. Hey, y'all, sending love from Tennessee. God bless. God bless to you too, Southern Girl. Happy you are here today. I be seeing your comments too, man. I be seeing your comments. You be showing support and be watching the videos. But I digress, Big Team. We're going to go and get into today's videos because we got a stacked lineup, man. Like Vendetta said, we got a good lineup tonight because we got to go to the Lazy Man Masquerade. He just dropped the video a couple of hours ago. We got to go to Chillin' Scares, who dropped the video like a day ago. And then Outlaw, y'all. Outlaw also dropped the video that we got to check out a couple of days ago. So we probably gonna be here for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, but we gonna go and get into it. But before we get into it, Being Team, I got to pull it up. So let me do that right now. And we are to the Lazy Man first, y'all. We're going to the Lazy Man first. And the title of his video is Final Photos with Disturbing Backstories. Now, I love when the Lazy Man do the photos with the disturbing backstory, just like Nick Crowley, just like Mr. Balling, you know what I'm saying? Chilling Scares. I freaking love when they do these type of stories because it really be like, whoa, once you get the backstory to the freaking photo, you be like, oh my God, that photo telling a whole different story than what I thought it was telling from my first look at it. You know what I'm saying, man? So I'm very excited to get into this. But before we get into it, Being Team, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you might need. Get what you need, please. We are going back to the Lazy Masquerade. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go. The Lazy.
A single, haunting frame of a shirtless man moving through Mississippi woodland, seemingly clutching a thick branch like a weapon. His back to the camera, his posture strained with desperation. To most, it was a mystery, but to Tiffany Carter, it was unmistakable. That was her son, and he was fighting for his life. Rasheem Carter was born on October 28, 1996. A lifelong Fayette resident, he was well known in the local community for his passion for sports and his deep love for his 6-year-old daughter, Callie. A man of ambition, the 25-year-old was saving to reopen his seafood restaurant, which had unfortunately closed during the pandemic. As such, in late 2022, Rasheem took a contract job at the Georgia Pacific chemical plant. He was part of a group of temporary employees staying at a Super 8 motel in Laurel and commuting roughly 20 miles each day to the worksite in Taylorsville. Many of them were from out of state, and many of them didn't get along with their latest recruit. On September 29th, Rashim sent his mother a detailed text message in which he expressed concerns about his co-workers, and specifically, his new employer. "Me and the owner of this company aren't seeing eye to eye, Mama," he wrote. "If anything happens to me, he's responsible for it. He's got these guys wanting to kill me." On Saturday, October 1st,
That's a crazy text message to send to your mama.
Rashim carpooled to work with colleagues that he was on better terms with, though for unknown reasons, they weren't able to take him back. Thus, after work, he went in search of a ride back to the motel. While on the outskirts of town, Rashim FaceTimed his mother, Tiffany, said that he was being chased by a group of white men in 3 separate trucks, and that they were hurling slurs at him. Things were apparently so heated that he not only felt targeted, but feared for his life. He reportedly entered a family dollar store and hid inside, but overheard the cashier tell someone over the phone, "Yeah, he's in here." Following his mum's advice, Rashim went directly to the Taylorsville Police Department. No officers were present, so instead, he walked to a nearby Exxon gas station. There, he found an officer refueling his car and reported that he had gotten into a verbal disagreement with co-workers and said he felt like he was in danger. He asked the officer for a ride back to Laurel, but was told it was outside his jurisdiction. Rashim returned to the station with the officer and spent an hour there laying low. Still on the phone with his mother, Rashim asked if he could stay at the station until he could organize a ride back home, but his request was denied. It's not known where Rashim spent that night, but the following morning, at 5:30 a.m., he returned to the same police station to ask for a phone charger, saying he needed to contact his loved ones. Since their cable didn't fit his device, they directed him to the Family Dollar. With his phone battery at 1%, Rashim sent a pin of his location to his mother. Tiffany, who lived all the way in Philadelphia, organized for her friend, Miss Green, to pick him up. Eerily, when Miss Green arrived at the store, Rashim was nowhere to be found. She drove all...
I just gotta hold on, Bean Team. I just gotta throw it out there, man. The freaking Taylorsville, whatever police department they is, they are being no help to this dude. I don't think they wanted to help this dude at all. Like, they kind of was like giving him the cold shoulder. You know what I'm saying, man? And we got to give a shout out to Gemini Curiosity real quick, a member of the Bean Team All-Stars. Says, "Hey, Stack and everybody, what's up, Gemini? We just getting started. We got Love Girl 788 in the building. She says, hi. And then she says, I am a huge fan of yours. That is crazy to hear. To hear anybody is a fan of mine is freaking crazy. You're not a fan. You just my sister, Love Girl. You one of the many sisters on the Bean Team, man. Welcome to the Bean Team. This is my first time talking to you. Glad you are here. But as far as this freaking video goes, man, for real, seems so, yes, Livey, like the police didn't really seem too caring about this dude. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we ain't got no charger. Go down to the local Family Dollar and get one. Like, they just ain't care. I don't know. Let's go.
All around the small town of Taylorsville, but found no trace of the young man anywhere. She asked around, but nobody had seen him. Concerned and unable to reach Rashim, his family turned to the local law enforcement and made a report. There, they scolded Tiffany for not arriving sooner and told her that Rashim was disobedient for not staying at the police station as he was told. They clearly didn't realize that Tiffany had been on the phone with Rashim when they told him that he couldn't stay and that she had heard.
Oh my God, they fucking lying and shit. Now I'm starting to get I'm already cousin. Excuse me, y'all. We ain't even supposed to been got to this level already, but I'm already there, as y'all can see. Because the damn police lying, man. They telling his mama one thing and didn't know that the mama already know the real thing. Y'all told him he couldn't stay there, but now you trying to tell his mama that they could stay there. Oh my freaking God. This is already going off the rails.
Heard everything. Days passed with no word from Rashim. Eventually, Tiffany sought updates from the sheriff's office in Smiths County, of which Taylorsville is a part, only to be told something chilling. Nobody at the department had been told Rashim was missing. Realizing that the official search was disorganized, or non-existent, Rashim's family launched an effort of their own. They retraced his last known steps, arriving at the dollar store where he was last seen. The staff presented them with security footage, which showed Rashim leaving the store at 10:45 AM. But when asked if the police had ever reviewed it, the employees said no. Nobody had even asked. Then, a property owner in Taylorsville found something troubling. Trail cam footage of an unknown man running through his land at 4:32 PM. Tiffany immediately knew that the man in the image was her son, and that something wasn't right. In her opinion, the noticeable dark marks on her son's head and left arm weren't shadows as the police asserted, but bruises. The object you're seeing here is a deer feeder. As you can see from this image, there weren't any tree limbs being used to support the tripod, so it seems that Rashim was holding onto this large branch here. But for what purpose? Though a full video does exist, investigators claim that nobody else appears in the footage, and this is the only frame they've publicly released. The exact location of the trail cam hasn't been revealed either, though it's worth noting that according to a write-up by his aunt, Rashim's mobile phone last pinged near Clear Creek, so it's possible that this image was captured somewhere around there. Exactly 1 month after he disappeared, on November 2nd, 2022, Rashim's partial remains were found scattered deep in those same woods.
Damn.
His head, which was located 300 yards from the trail cam, had been severed from his body and was completely stripped to the bone. His spinal cord was found in a totally separate location. Over time, 24 bones and fragments were found scattered across 2 acres, along with his jeans, driver's license, motel room card, and an iPhone battery. Neither the shirt that he had been wearing that day or his iPhone have ever been found. Despite the disturbing circumstances, law enforcement quickly labeled Rashim's COD as undetermined, yet definitively stated that there was no reason to suspect foul play. They suggested wild animals may have been responsible for his death, or that he may have OD'd on some form of illicit substance, an assertion based on no evidence whatsoever. Though it is likely that scavengers were responsible for scattering Rashim's remains, many think that the young father was being hunted in those woods by humans. In December of that year, a disturbing rumor began circulating. A young boy in Taylorsville had reportedly told his classmates that he had seen a body in a hog pen, that the pigs had vomited up a man's remains. That rumor has since proliferated in the so-called sundown town of Taylorsville. In February 2023, when Rashim's family held a peaceful protest there demanding a more thorough investigation, they were met with verbal abuse and threats from several men in the crowd. Men who were known to meet at a diner with the police chief for secretive talks after Rashim's demise. That's according to an interview with a diner employee who chose to remain nameless, apparently out of fear of repercussions. Although that much is hearsay, the chief did post a photo to Facebook showing a man hosing away sidewalk chalk that read, "Rashim's life mattered."
Wow.
His caption, "Little cleanup," followed by a waving emoji.
Oh my God. Tell me that the police ain't got that police department ain't got nothing to do with this man's death without telling me y'all ain't got nothing to do with his death. Are you freaking kidding me, man? All signs are pointing to, and it's even coming from the police chief, the chief, the top of the card, the top of the line, the head chief in charge being team. Even him, you know what I'm saying, involved with this cover up. I'm not even saying they the ones who actually murdered Rashim, but they know who murdered them and they covering up for it. This is one of those ones like, oh my God, dude, like where is the justice? There is no justice that can be served because of the people who's supposed to be serving the justice is the ones who are unserviceable. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, man. Oh my God. Let me give a shout out to my girl, Callie Nelson, 1993. Happy Saturday, Beans and Bean Team. Just got back home from having date night with my husband. Hey, hope you had a good time, Kyler, with your husband. Glad you stopped by the freaking live stream. We just getting started. We just started with the lazy man. And this first story is crazy, man. Seriously, like the police are ridiculous in this story. Look at his arm. Oh my God. Yes, Gemini. Looked like he was getting tortured, like he was all bruised up, and just the way body parts was found over, I think he said 2 acres or 200 miles or 20 miles, something like that. His body parts all spread apart. The man went through horrible. His end of life times was just horrible. And we got Rhonda Hoskins 4 finally catching a live. Hello, Pound Bean team. What's up, Rhonda? This is my first time talking to you too. Glad you are here, that you finally caught a live. Hey, we try to do these every Saturday. I'm trying to be consistent now. This is my second Saturday in a row, and hopefully next week will be a third in a row. Yeah, live. Welcome all new live members. Welcome up. Welcome. But I digress, Bean team. Let's get back into it, man. This is ridiculous that this man would post on Facebook, little clean up. Let's go.
At best, an extremely tone-deaf post. In civil rights attorney Ben Crump's words, there's nothing natural about this case. It screams out for justice. What we have here is a Mississippi lynching. Rasheem's family concur. They remain adamant that he met with foul play, citing that his card had been used to withdraw $500 from his bank account 2 days after he disappeared. Taylorsville PD dispute that the card had been used to make that withdrawal, as Rasheem's wallet and all his cards were found in the woods. By the time they got around to speaking with Rasheem's co-workers, most had already left the state. The authorities say that none of them are considered suspects, as their GPS coordinates showed that their phones weren't in the vicinity of Taylorsville on the day Rasheem vanished. To this day, the case of Rasheem Carter remains shrouded in mystery. His family continues to demand answers, and are calling for a federal probe from the U.S. Department of Justice. Although Smith County authorities initially dismissed foul play, they now acknowledge that it remains a possibility that can't be ruled out. Why was Rasheem in those woods to begin with? What happened to his shirt and his phone? And how did his life come to an end? The town of Taylorsville is home to only 1,200 residents. Somebody must know the answers to those questions. But whether out of loyalty or fear, they're keeping their lips firmly sealed.
Man, that's one of those ones, like, yes, Livy, damn, man. That's one of those ones where I just honestly feel like that would never get solved. That's gonna remain an unsolved mystery, because it's some dirty ass cops out here who know the truth. They know what happened, all the details and stuff. But like the lazy man said, they gonna keep their mouth sealed. They gonna keep it zipped up. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna never let it get out what really happened to Rasheem. Oh my God, man. Rest in peace. Let's go to the next one, y'all. Gemini says, justice for Rasheem. They know what happened to him. They know exactly what happened to him, Gemini. But I doubt they will ever let the public know. Let's go. The lazy.
It was a rainy Friday evening in the Netherlands when Anne Faber, who got caught in the downpour, decided to take a goofy little selfie for her boyfriend. She pulled a silly face, snapped the photo, and hit send. Minutes later, she would cross paths with a monster and fall off the face of the earth. At the time, Anne was a 25-year-old student living in a shared house in Utrecht and was known for her energy, kindness, and determination. She had earned her bachelor's degree in business administration and was working towards a master's in cultural economics and entrepreneurship. Her dream was to one day run a major museum like the Guggenheim, a lofty ambition to be sure, but she was also the kind of person who balanced hard work with deep friendships. Despite a packed social life and heavy workload, Anne was laser-focused on her goals. To cope with her busy schedule and clear her mind, she often partook in that classic Dutch pastime, cycling. Indeed, she loved nothing more than taking her bike out to the countryside and getting some fresh air. On September 29th, 2017, at around 5 p.m., Anna set out on a planned 20-kilometer bike ride. Midway through her cycle, a heavy rainstorm hit. At 6:50 p.m., she snapped this selfie, soaked and grimacing, flashing a peace sign. She immediately sent it to her boyfriend, Nathan, hoping it would give him a laugh. And it did. Sadly.
It ain't giving me no laugh. Like, seriously, this picture looks terrible. And now we getting the backstory of it. When you add the context to it in hindsight, Bean Team.
It would be the last photo of her he would ever receive. When Anna hadn't returned home by 8 p.m., Nathan began to grow worried. He called and texted, but received no response. By 9, he called Anna's mother, who in turn contacted the police. While the investigation got started, Anna's loved ones searched the woods in the dark and rain, combing paths with flashlights until exhaustion forced them to stop. The next morning, the formal search began. 30 officers scoured her route. A police helicopter used thermal imaging to scan the terrain. Still, nothing. Then, on October 3rd, a breakthrough. Friends found a jacket near Amersfoort. It was Anna's. 2 days later, on October 5th, Anna's bicycle was found submerged in a pond in Blucher Park. A day later, her backpack was discovered in the same area. At first, the evidence led nowhere, but DNA recovered from Anna's jacket changed everything. It pointed to a 27-year-old man named Michael P., who was living in a psychiatric facility in Den Dolder. Due to strict Dutch privacy laws, which do extend to convicted criminals, Michael's last name wasn't revealed to the public in Holland. That being said, such laws don't apply where I'm from, and I have absolutely no moral qualms revealing that his full name is Michael Ponhaus. What the Dutch media could reveal was that he had served time for SAing 2 teenagers at gunpoint in 2010, a crime he once described as a dream come true, and that he was now being treated for aggression and addiction at the clinic. Knowing what type of character he was, the police were particularly rough when they arrested him. Through strategic interrogation, detectives persuaded Michael to confess, and as it would turn out, this final photo of Anna was taken mere minutes before he did the unthinkable. According to Michael's account, he had taken his scooter out for a ride near the clinic. As part of his reintegration process, he had been granted unsupervised leave from the clinic for the evening. It was while out riding that he accidentally crashed into Anna, knocking her from her bike. Though he initially intended to help her, she insisted on calling the police. Michael's scooter was uninsured, and thus, he panicked. Instead of facing the consequences of his actions, he instead pulled out a blade, destroyed Anna's phone, and forced her into the woods. What followed was a brutal violation. He then bound Anna's hands with zip ties, placed her on his scooter, and drove her to the remote terrain of Soesterberg Air Base. Fearing that her screams might attract the attention of passers-by, Michael panicked yet again, and, in a sudden act of violence, slit Anna's throat.
Are you freaking kidding me, bro? Oh, you did all this because she wanted to call the police and report that y'all got into an accident. So you decided to kidnap her, take her to a whole nother location, and then at the end of the day, you end up taking her life. You end up slicing her throat. Over that? No, see, I think it's deeper than that. I just think you was a crazy, you know what, and you just got to that breaking point where you wanted to end somebody's life, and that just gave you an excuse. That was just a caveat you used to end Anna's life. Like, what the freak is going on, man? Lively. Oh my God. Dude, really? Of course he did. Yes, Lively. Like really. Minutes. Oh my God, man. Why? Like, why, bro? That excuse, that's a trash ass excuse. Long story short, story long, man. The girl, she wanted to call the police to report the accident. Like, come on, bro. Rest in peace. That's ridiculous. He saw an opportunity and took it. That's what I'm saying, Gemini. He just saw an opportunity to kill somebody and he freaking took it, man. My girl Diana is in the building. Where did he get the zip ties? Man, he wanted an excuse to hurt someone. If not her, it would have been another person. I agree 100%. He didn't want to go back to jail. This is just it's unfortunate for Anna, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like she was targeted by him. She was just the wrong lady in the wrong place at the wrong time.
After taking her life, Michael tried to cover his tracks. He moved Anna's body, scattered her belongings, and used his mother's car to drive to a childhood haunt in Zeewolde, where he finally buried her. Then, as if nothing had happened, he cleaned the car, visited family, spent time with his pregnant girlfriend, and went back to using drugs. After Michael's confession on October 12th, Anna's body was recovered. Though Michael himself claims that the crime wasn't premeditated and that it was a spontaneous act, others can't help but wonder whether he went out searching for prey that evening, and if he was already watching Anna from a distance when this selfie was taken. Michael had a deeply troubled profile after all. Borderline personality disorder, antisocial traits, and psychopathic behavior, compounded by long-term addiction. He was impulsive, violent, and emotionally unstable. And yet, for some bizarre reason, he was permitted to leave his clinic 3 times per day and was somehow able to get a blade through security without anyone realizing. In July 2018, Michael Bunhaus was sentenced to 28 years in prison, followed by indefinite psychiatric detention. He was also ordered to pay over 100,000 euros in compensation to Anna's family. Additionally, he was convicted of attacking 5 staff members during his psychiatric evaluation before trial. In June 2020, his sentence was reduced by 4 months after it was determined that his rights had been violated during his arrest. He had been tackled and sustained a broken shoulder and other injuries. Anna Faber's slaying shook the Netherlands. The subsequent inquiry revealed major gaps in communication between the institutions responsible for monitoring offenders. For example, the Den Dolder Clinic was unaware that Michael had previously served time on SA charges, as he had refused to let the prison share that information. The clinic only knew about his history of aggression and substance abuse. A report later found that no one had assessed the risks associated with his behavior or evaluated the likelihood of him reoffending. Reforms followed. Stricter leave policies, better risk assessments, improved interagency coordination, and tighter supervision for those granted freedom from psychiatric facilities. Anna's story is one of unimaginable loss, but also of change. Her slaying sparked reforms that could save lives. Her memory endures, not only through the people who loved her, but in a system now trying, however imperfectly, to prevent anything like this from ever happening again. I'd like to end this segment by giving a shout out to The Lowest Crime, who's covered many Dutch cases on her channel, including this one. She only has 3 subscribers at the moment, but has some really well-researched podcast-style uploads. Be sure to go and check her out. Link in the description.
Man, see, this one of those ones where I want to get upset is you know what, but I'm not gonna crash out right now being team, but I want to bad as elf because like Gemini says right here, 28 years, what? Throw away the key. I agree 100%. Why he only got 28 years for that, and after he get out, he gonna have an indefinite psychiatric ward thingy going on where he gonna be in the crazy house or whatever. But why are we doing all that? Why we just can't give these fucking murderers life in prison and be done with it? I just would never understand that. Now, see, I'm starting to amp it up now, being team, and be called back down, man. I'm just saying, dude. Why you get 28, you get 33, you get 13, you get 27, you get 44. Like, why are we throwing these random years out for these freaking murderers? If you kill somebody, get in prison for the rest of your life at the very least. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in favor of the death penalty. But at the very least, let's do life in prison. Long story short, short story long. Another dumb police situation. I agree. My girl M Flow. Yay, I'm late, but I'm here. Shout out to M Flow. Glad you have showed up. M Flow. Woo, welcome, M Flow. Welcome, man. Yeah, shouldn't be allowed out again, my friends. Long story short, short story long. Let's go. I mean, 28 years is a long time, but God, I mean, why we like just say life in prison and be done with it? Let's see what Diana said real quick. The second he was unsupervised, committed again, he cannot be free. Yes, and then that's another thing. Diana with the great points again that made me just think about it. Yes, that's another thing. Once he do get free again, what you think he gonna do? He gonna do the same thing he did the first time. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be a repeat offender. We have seen it so many times. These people do not change. They don't. Let's go. The lazy.
He claimed to heal the broken. He offered solutions to sensitive problems. He sold love by the bottle. But behind the ritual candles and whispered incantations, an Indonesian mystic was orchestrating something far darker. On the outskirts of Medan, North Sumatra, lived a man named Ahmad Suraji. By trade, he bred cattle, but by reputation, he was Datu, a revered dukun, or witch doctor, who specialized in spiritual services. People flocked to him from all over Indonesia, seeking his powers, especially women. They handed over good money, up to $400 per visit, for love potions, fertility rituals, trinkets that could bring beauty and wealth, and spells that would keep their husbands faithful. But unbeknownst to anyone other than his innermost circle, Suraji had a thirst for even greater power, and he knew of only one way to quench it. On April 24th, 1997, 21-year-old Sri Kemala Dewi, who was looking for a way to reconnect with her estranged husband, decided to pay Suraji a visit. That night, she hired a teenage rickshaw puller named Andreas and asked him to take her to the infamous Datu. She asked him not to tell anyone where she was going, likely out of embarrassment. They arrived at his residence in Se Semayang village shortly before midnight, at which point Dewi said that she didn't need a ride back. Maybe she intended to walk home. Maybe she thought she'd be back before anyone noticed that she was gone. She wasn't. The next morning, her parents searched the streets of Medan for their missing daughter, showing passers-by this image, the last ever taken of her, in hopes that someone had seen her. 3 days later, a farmer searching for livestock feed noticed something strange in a nearby sugarcane field. Heavy rain had softened the ground, peeling back the topsoil. Just 10 meters in, he saw a mound that didn't belong. He alerted the village head, who gathered a posse of men, including Suraji, and went to investigate. As they dug, a foul stench rushed up from the earth. Thick, putrid, inescapable. Still, they pressed on. And then they found her. A female body, disrobed, buried in the earth with her head facing in a very specific direction, toward Ahmad Suraji's house. Dewi's mother heard about the discovery and immediately rushed to the scene. As soon as she laid eyes on the corpse's feet, she knew it was her daughter. Her family was shattered, but none of them could explain how she had ended up in a shallow grave in the middle of nowhere. By morning, the police arrived. That's when Andreas, the rickshaw puller, came forward and told them about the victim's final taxi ride. Dewi said that she wanted to go to the witch doctor's house. I was curious, because it was a little late, so I asked her why she was going there. She scolded me and told me not to be so nosy. That tip was all the police needed. They raided Suraji's home. Inside, they found Dewi's belongings. Her handbag, her dress, her bracelet. At first, Suraji denied everything, claiming that he had found the items in a field, but the evidence spoke for itself, and under questioning, he admitted to 16 other murders.
Wow.
Investigators later found a stash of jewelry and clothing tied to 25 more missing women in his home. Eventually, Soraji cracked. He confessed to killing over 42 women in the span of 11 years, from 1986.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, this started out with we thinking that you just killed this one woman and buried her in the field. Come to find out you one of the most prolific serial killers of all time. This man admitted to murdering 42 freaking people, being team. Just the fact that he didn't got away with this for so long, and now he's spilling the beans like that. Oh my God, man. What? 42? Dude. Yeah, crazy mother. You know what?
To 1997. According to him, the method was always the same. A woman would arrive at his home, seeking his services. He'd charge them his customary $400 fee, dig a hole in the sugarcane plantation, ask the woman to sit in it with her legs stretched out, bury her up to her waist. He told all of them that it was a necessary part of the ritual. Then he'd kneel down and strangle them, sometimes with his hands, other times with a length of cable. Once they had stopped breathing.
Hold on, man. I just gotta point this part out too. It's crazy that these women was believing this ritual. I gotta put it in quotation marks. It's crazy that these women was going along with this, man. They was literally like jumping into their own graves without even knowing it. Sitting down, my damn dog getting up on me because I'm getting excited. Get off. They freaking they was jumping into their own graves, being seen sitting down in the ground and then getting covered up to their freaking neck or their waist or whatever with dirt. Like, that was ridiculous, man. I think my dog want to say hey, y'all. Let me let her say hey. Let me let her say hey. Tell them hey, sweetie. Tell them my name is Sweetie and I'm bad as hell. And I'm a member of the I'm the Bean Team defenders. We shout out Bean Team. Okay, get off. Gone. All right, y'all. Back to our regularly scheduled program, man. It is crazy how these women was freaking like literally getting into their own graves without knowing it. Just long story short, short story long. Let's go.
He would lean in and suck the saliva from their mouths. The self-proclaimed sorcerer believed that he was chasing immortality one corpse at a time. Why? Because the ghost of his father, Jogan, told him so. In a dream, his dear old dad, also an occultist, materialized from beyond the grave and told Soraji, "Drink the saliva of 72 dead women, and your powers will grow." In a statement to the police, Soraji admitted, "My father didn't specifically advise me to kill people, but I was thinking it would take ages to find 72 women who had passed from natural causes. I was trying to hit my target as fast as possible. I took my own initiative." After ending their lives, Soraji would remove their clothes to speed up decomposition and twist their heads to face his home. This, he claimed, made his black magic more potent. Excavation teams soon unearthed pile after pile of human remains, all female, all in various stages of rot, all facing towards Soraji's home. One was as young as 11. The oldest was just 30. Most were never reported missing and remain unidentified to this day. Investigators believe that many were too ashamed to admit they had visited a shaman for help, hence why nobody linked their disappearances back to the mystic. During a televised reenactment, viewers watched in disbelief as Soraji placed mannequin heads into the earth and walked police through every gruesome step, right there in the same field. In perhaps the most stomach-churning moment, He even demonstrated how he sucked the saliva which dripped from his victims' mouths. Though they didn't feature in the reenactment, he actually had 3 wives, all sisters, who helped him cover his tracks, and at least one, the eldest, Tumini, helped him carry out the slayings. Given that he only operated at night, some of Soraji's clients were too scared to follow him into the enormous sugarcane field alone, and thus he would sometimes bring Tumini with him to put them at ease. She would then help bury their remains. On December 11th, 1997, prosecutors presented a staggering 363-page indictment. Despite the mountain of evidence against him, Ahmad Soraji insisted that he was innocent and claimed that he had been tortured into giving his confession. But the jury weren't convinced. In 2008, Soraji was tied to a tree and executed by firing squad. His first wife, Tumini, believed to be his main accomplice, was also given a capital sentence, but her punishment was later reduced to life in prison.
Okay.
His other 2 wives, Tumina and Natia, were released without conviction. Though their role in the caper remains unclear, they were most certainly aware of what Soraji was up to, and had even helped to advertise his services. To protest their release, villagers destroyed their home, and the 2 sisters were forced into hiding. In the end, the man who's
In the end, I'm good with the sentences. I'm good with the sentences, even though the other 2 wives ain't get nothing. But he got shot to freaking death by a firing squad, and then the wife, the main culprit wife, I shall say, got life in prison. I'm good with the sentences being seen.
sought power through death met his own at the end of a rifle. Soraji aimed to harvest 72 souls. He confessed to reaching 42, but investigators believe the real number could be higher. Much higher. In his absence, the sugarcane of Medan has grown tall, but locals say it's less sweet than it used to be. They can't help but wonder if the soil below may still be harboring Soraji's secrets.
The lazy with another great video, man, and freaking Soraji. I never heard of that story before. I know Livy was saying in the comments that she remembered it from Mr. Ballin. I don't even remember that. I probably have watched it from Mr. Ballin and just don't remember it at all, Livy. But all I know is it's crazy how you would think somebody just is a murderer and come to find out they are a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just murdered this one person that you think they murdered. Come to find out they done murdered 42 freaking people. That dude was freaking crazy. Had his own thing going on. Had 3 wives involved with it. You know what I'm saying? In on the whole plot. And that's why earlier when I was like, man, it's crazy how these women was jumping into their own graves and just believing this man. And not only that, hold on, I gotta find this comment from Diana. Not only that, man, they get charged $400 to get killed. They paying this man to jump in this hole, to jump into their grave and get killed, but they didn't know it. But it also goes that what you add some context to it, it goes to show that another reason why they was doing it or was so compliant to doing it was because of his main wife. I can't remember her name, Umani, whatever, tomato. You know what I'm saying? That helped ease those women's mind. They like, oh, that's his wife. You know, this is a good thing. Nothing is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It helped give them the confidence that everything is going to happen smooth. And no, it didn't happen smooth for all those freaking women. Rest in peace to all them, man. Rest in peace to all them. We got D-Mike in the building. D-Mike says, what's up, Stack? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you, D-Mike. Glad you have showed up on another freaking Saturday. Gemini said, good. Get their asses. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm glad that the sentences that we got with that one, especially the main dude, the main freaking killer, he got shot by a freaking firing squad. LSB says, yeah, you watching from Mr. Ballin', Unc. I swear to God, if I did, I do not remember it all. But what number we on? Reaction Beanie Yo 791 or 92. You know what I'm saying, man? We have watched a lot of these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious. What the is going on type of videos on our channel. And guess what? We're about to watch another one because now it is time to go to Chilling Scares being
On January 8th,
Chilling freaking Scares. And Chilling Scares put this video out a day ago. Look at that, in a day. 1.1 million freaking views. That is freaking crazy. Shout out to Chilling Scares. Let's get it set up. Let's do this.
On January 8th,
let's pause it one more time. Make sure the volume good. And the title of the video is 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage. Now, where we going with this one? The lazy man just already hit us with some crazy ish, and I'm pretty sure Chilling Scares is about to do the same thing, being team. Let's go.
On January 8th, 2005, a man named Martin discovered a mysterious package in his mailbox. Confused, he brought it inside and opened it up. Inside the package was a single item, a videotape with no label or note to explain its contents. Curious to see what was on it, he put it in his camcorder and pressed play. And the footage he found on it was shocking to say the least. It contained a nearly hour-long video of a man describing the violent things he was about to do, how he was going to lure his victims, and the makeshift devices he was going to use.
I'm not trained in torture methods, which is what I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. The reason why it's got this padding on it is just to try to silence it a bit because I'm in an apartment.
Now, I just gotta say, I don't remember that Mr. Ballin' story, but I know exactly where this come from. This come from Nick freaking Crowley. This is Grandpa. I already know this one right here, Bean Team. If you know, you know. If you don't know, after you watch this live stream, search Nick Crowley, my reaction to the darkest kids TV show ever or something like that. Like I said, if you know, you freaking know. Let's go.
I got gags, socks, got lots of duct tape. I got a soldering iron, sheets. It's rather crude implements. I think can work wonders, especially if it's used in the right way.
However, while the content itself was extremely grim, what disturbed Martin more was the fact that he personally knew the person on screen. This wasn't the manifesto of a serial killer planning to take innocent lives. Instead, it was the final message of Martin's close friend, Ricky Rodriguez, a man who was tormented by a cult from the moment he was born. He eventually managed to escape the cult and was now planning to take revenge on the people who did unspeakable things to him for all those years. He recorded this hour-long video and mailed it to his few friends and family so they would find it and have all the answers about what he was about to do and why.
I am making this video, well, for many reasons, I guess. I suppose the main reason is that I want there to be some record of the way I feel, my ideas, just who I was, really.
Ricky's story began 30 years earlier on January 25, 1975, when he was born as the first child of Karen Elva Zerby. Karen was a member of a cult called the Children of God, which used Christian language to lure in young, impressionable minds, often teenagers, and molded them to its sick and perverse ideals. 2 years after Ricky's birth, he was adopted by the cult's leader, David Burke, who presented himself as the Chosen One. David changed the cult's name to The Family and declared Ricky to be a religious herald, granting him a special position in the organization. However, while he was treated like royalty by the other members on the surface, behind closed doors, Ricky was the victim of vile acts no child should ever have to endure. David not only encouraged these acts, but went as far as to write a whole book about everything he and his followers did to Ricky, called The Story of DeVito. This abuse continued for many years. But as Ricky got older, he became aware of David's lies and manipulation. Then in 1999, he finally managed to escape the cult with his girlfriend Alexia Manuel by faking a visit to the cult's compound in Mexico and fleeing to the US instead. Reintegration into society after 24 years in an isolated cult was anything but simple. But Ricky somehow managed to pull through and secure a job as an electrician. He also married Alexia and later moved to Tucson, Arizona due to his work. Unfortunately, no matter how hard he tried to move forward, the nightmare he escaped continued to haunt him. David had passed away in 1994, and the cult was now under the supervision of Karen Zerby, Ricky's mother. And while the cult had managed to escape legal repercussions by mainly operating overseas, Ricky knew that there were still countless children suffering the same fate as him. So, in January of 2005, he decided enough was enough and took matters into his own hands. Which brings us back to—
I just gotta point out real quick, y'all. I love that Chillin' Scares is giving us more details about Ricky. He is telling the backstory more than Nick Crowley did of Ricky. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a diss to Nick Crowley. You know what I'm saying? Because that video is, I think that's one of his top videos ever. That one and the freaking Smart Schoolboy 9 and the other one that the Joy Junction. Like, it's a great video from Nick Crowley, but I just love that Chillin' Scares is going to more details about Ricky. And I gotta say, man, Ricky is like a vigilante out here. He is basically Batman out here. You know what I'm saying, Bean Team? Like, he is fighting for the greater good. Even though he have escaped this cult, he still want to go back and fight for the little children that he know is still in this cult and going through the same ish that he went through when he was a little child, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Rest in peace. None of these kids deserve this, especially him. I agree, Livey. I think I remember this. Didn't the old guy have kids? Like, didn't the old guy have like kids kept from the outside world or something? Yes, a lot of freaking kids. A lot of freaking kids. Right, Livey. They truly suffered. LSB, pretty much. Yes, pretty freaking much. And my girl, Faith is in the building. Oh, just watched this earlier. This story is always so crazy. Yes, it's crazy hearing it from Chillin' Scares and getting more details about what Ricky actually went through and understanding also why he went back to get revenge on this freaking cult. Even though he already had escaped it, he didn't have to go back and do what he ended up doing. But I don't blame him for what he ended up doing. I almost give him a shout out, give him a clap, give him a praise. You know what I'm saying, man? Because he's trying to save children from going through what the freak he went through. Let's go.
To the video he recorded and then mailed to a handful of close friends and his wife. In it, Ricky mentioned his ultimate goal, which was to bring down the cult all on his own. Beyond that, a part of this was also about getting revenge for everything that was done to him.
There's this need that I have. This need, it's not a want, it's a need, and I wish it wasn't, but it is. It's a need for revenge. It's a need for justice. Because I can't go on like this.
In this video, he also laid out his plan for accomplishing this goal. He'd apparently gotten in contact with his previous nanny, Angela Smith, who was among the group that tormented him during his time in the cult. He was going to invite her over for dinner at his apartment in Tucson and make her tell everything she knew about the other members' whereabouts by any means necessary. And that's exactly what he did. On January 8th, after mailing copies of his recording, he invited Angela into his home and proceeded with the plan. It's unclear what information he managed to extract from her before taking her life. He then got into his car and drove to Blythe, California. There, he rented a motel and called his wife to tell her about what he had done and what he was going to do next. However, despite the meticulous planning, Ricky ultimately couldn't follow through with the rest of his plan. On the morning of January 9th, authorities found his car in a parking lot just a few miles from the hotel he was staying at. Ricky was found inside the car as well, where he had taken his own life. And while this was tragic news for his loved ones, it was hardly surprising for his wife. You see, Ricky believed that killing the cultists would bring him peace, something he reiterated in his last video.
I can imagine how I would feel, how liberating it would be.
But that's not what happened. During his call with his wife, he confessed that despite his anger and resentment, killing Angela was the hardest thing he had ever done. Taking revenge didn't bring the comfort he was looking for. He couldn't bring himself to take any more lives and decided to end it all that night, leaving his friends and family with this hour-long video to remember him by. As for the family cult, it remains active to this day under the leadership of his mother.
Oh man, now I forgot about that part, being team, that he ended up killing that woman, then ended up taking his life. You know what I'm saying, man? And I can understand how he felt like even when he killed her, he's like, dude, this I don't feel good about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I thought I would feel when I killed this lady. And being for real, being team. Well, this we finna sound crazy as F right now, but just follow me real quick. I feel like the one person who should have been killed the most, first of all, is David Berg or whatever his name is, Grandpa. But Grandpa had already been dead for years now. You know what I'm saying? And the next person in line is his own freaking mama because she's still running this cult. Now I don't know if this cult is still essaying children and doing all that crazy ish like they was doing in the past, man. But at the end of the day, I don't know if Ricky could have killed the right people. Like, I don't know if killing was the right thing to even be doing, if I just gotta say that. But I understand it. I under freaking stand it. I'll just say that, man. I'll just say that. Long story short, short story long. Rest in peace, Ricky, man. He was indeed a hero, even if he couldn't stop them 100%, but he tried, and I'm glad he at least had a little outside life before he passed. Great point, Lobby. He did have a little, outside life for a little while, but he couldn't let it go. He couldn't let what happened to him as a little child go, especially when he know that other little kids going through this. Now, if his mama is still operating like David did in the past, I don't know. Man, somebody need to go to wherever she at and just shut that ish down. Put all the adults in prison and free all the little kids, man. It wasn't even his job to do. I agree 100%, Lobby. 100 freaking percent. He couldn't find her, sadly. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm glad I'm glad David has passed away because he was the freaking ringleader of all this ish. And maybe the cult is better than it was back then. But at the end of the day, it's still a cult that's built on a terrible history at the end of the day. Let's go, y'all. Good start to the Chillin' Scares video.
On October 4th, 2006, at approximately 6:15 a.m., the Barrie Police Department received a chilling call from a woman saying, "My children are dead," in a calm and quiet voice. The disconnect between her tone and the situation she was describing was extremely unsettling. When asked what happened, she replied, "I don't know, I don't remember." Police officers immediately rushed to the address she provided and knocked on the door of her apartment, bracing for what they might find. The door opened and they were greeted by 31-year-old Frances Elaine Campione. When the officers asked her about the children she mentioned on her call, she replied in the same disturbingly calm voice, stating, "Yes, they're dead. They're on my bed." As the officers entered the master bedroom, he saw the remains of two little girls, 3-year-old Serena and 19-month-old Sophia, lying on the bed. Both were dressed in clean clothes and were also wearing necklaces and earrings. However, their skin was starting to turn blue, suggesting they might have been deceased for quite some time. One of the officers also noticed a small bruise on Sophia's forehead, and that was it. There was nothing else in the room that could have explained their deaths. But as the investigators looked through Elaine's apartment, they found a camcorder with footage that explained everything. The recording started on a wholesome note, showing Elaine surprising Serena with a new bike on her 3rd birthday on August 8th.
Hi, Serena. It's August 8th, 2006. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Serena. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I remember this one too, Bean Team. And this one I remember from Nick Crowley too. Nick freaking Crowley, man. I know what it's going to. And my girl Lively does also. Oh God, another one I've heard of. Shake my head. It was also a Nick Crowley video. Yes, it was. Birds getting his right now. I agree. Jim and I talking about David. This is Grandpa. He burning in hell right now. He is in eternal hell. His soul is, and I'm happy it is. But as far as this one too, man, this is so tragic, man. And I'm pretty sure Chillin' Scales about to give us more details about it being seen. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I'll be right freaking back. Right back. Back like I never left, Bean Team. Back like I never left. But like I said, man, yes, this is a crazy one with Kylie. What we watching, Beans? We watching a video from Chillin' Scares that we have already heard from Nick Crowley. And I'm pretty sure that Chillin' Scares is gonna give us some even crazier details, more details, I should say. Let's freaking go.
Serena's 3 today. Yay! Shall we go to the living room and see if you've got any birthday presents from the birthday fairies?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
I have to go.
What is it?
It's a bike.
The next video I'll
Hold on, man. I just gotta say it real quick, man. Long story short, story long, y'all. I just don't see how somebody can kill an innocent little child like that. Did you just see the little girl running down the hallway? Like, just the innocence of a little child like that. How could you do that to someone like that? That shit, like, I just thank God that I'm not that person.
also showed Elaine and her 2 daughters just hanging around and having fun.
I love you.
This much.
Oh, I love you more than that.
So far, everything looked quite normal. However, the third recording, dated October 2nd, was when things started to get weird. The tone of the recordings instantly changed as Elaine suddenly went on and on about their horrible living conditions and the torment her ex-husband Leo and his family had put her through, said all in front of her children.
You can't see through the camera, boo-hoo. Oh, yes, this is a deplorable, horrible, messy, filthy apartment that supposedly my 2 children and I live in, and it's just a horrible, horrible mess. Yeah. I think Diego Campione is totally in the wrong, and I hope he burns in hell for all his sins. The same as Leonardo. All I wanted to do was take care of my 2 little girls and live happily ever after the 3 years of physical, emotional, and mental abuse that I endured tremendously by Leonardo Campione, and then the past year from Anna and Diego Campione, the mental and emotional abuse, which wouldn't stop, and I had CAS keep bringing these 2 people into my life over and over again when I kept telling them the amount of mental and emotional abuse it was causing my 3-year-old daughter Serena and I and Sophia. It was horrible and uncalled for, and I want justice to my family for what they have all done to us. I cried out for help. They should have.
Leo was apparently extremely abusive, both physically and mentally. He prevented her from contacting her parents and at one point even kicked her in her stomach while she was pregnant. This resulted in Leo getting charged with domestic violence and the 2 getting divorced. However, at the time of this recording, Leo was starting to turn things around and was engaged in a legal battle with Elaine over the custody of their daughters. This took an immense toll on Elaine's mental health. She was already quite unstable and had been to the psych ward twice in the past couple of years. But according to her mother, the custody battle caused her to lose it completely and develop severe paranoia. She became worried that Leo would one day show up and forcibly take her daughters away. Then, on October 2nd, after ending this recording at 8:39 p.m., Elaine did the unthinkable by taking the lives of her own daughters, then recording a haunting confession that investigators discovered on the same camera.
Recording this because Leo and there. Are you happy? Everything is gone. You wouldn't give peace. You wouldn't tell the truth. I begged. You even had Stacy not believing me, telling her I had to sign papers when I didn't. I went to victim witness to get the truth. Trying, begging everyone the truth. How you beat me 3 years behind closed doors, beat me when I was pregnant with Serena and Sophia. You didn't care about our babies. You didn't care about me. You care about yourself. You wanted to win. You won. Are you happy? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Because it doesn't make me feel great. I've lost everything my whole life.
At this point, the camera cut.
God, man, just in hindsight, watching that ish, and you know what the freak she done did to her 2 little babies. Oh, and I know that she going through, like, she is a mentally challenged person. But mentally challenged or not, being team, I don't care, man. You do the crime, you got to do the time. Long story short, short story long, man. Lock her up and throw away the freaking key.
To a later point where Elaine attempted to take her own.
That means the remodeling time at their Aurelia and Braintree stores. They are changing the displays. Now is the time to make a great deal on an Ontario-made hydro cool hot tub. In stock models, floor model, or custom orders, everything has a sale price. Pool Spa Sauna Showroom, making waves in Aurelia, Bracebridge, and soon to be in Huntsville. You can also check them out on the web at poolspasaunashowroom.com.
Elaine was arrested on the spot and was later charged with murder, with the found footage in her home serving as crucial evidence against her. She was ultimately sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
25 years? I don't remember that part, man. Why does she have a possibility of parole, period? Why are we even giving her a possibility to be out? This shit gotta change, man. I be talking a lot about Japan, not even Japan, Asia, and their sentencing laws, and we heard some crazy ish. I don't know if it was on the Junko Furuta case, live it cleared up if we did, but it was some case where we heard some crazy. No, I don't think it was that one, but it was some crazy law they came up with. But Asia, period, they be doing some crazy ish, but the United States be doing some crazy ish too. Why in the hell? Just life in prison, no parole, no nothing. Throw away the damn key and be done with it. Like I said, I understand that she got mental health issues, but that don't change the fact that she killed 2 little children, her own little children. What the hell, man? Freaking crazy, y'all. Freaking crazy. Let's go.
Years ago, the Bureau of Land Management published a public service announcement dubbed Stay Out and Stay Alive, educating viewers about the countless dangers of exploring abandoned mines, including the very real risk of cave-ins, volatile explosives, wild animals, and entire sections without oxygen. However, the most chilling part of the video was the story and the accompanying found footage of an accident that had occurred years earlier. On July 4th, 1998, a group of young men found an abandoned mine in Nevada and decided to explore it for fun. Though, surprisingly, the boys seemed acutely aware of the mistake they were making right from the start.
As you see Briz pointing out, stay alive. It's a good point, but we're not too smart, so we're going to go anyway. This is an unsafe mine. Danger.
Yet, the allure of exploring a place untouched for decades was too tempting for them to ignore. However, the deeper they went into the mine, the more dangerous it became, with the boys walking over sketchy wooden bridges to continue their journey. They even found signs of the mine caving in, but chose to ignore those signs just to venture deeper.
If you look at all this, there's lots of rocks and stuff that have fallen from the ceiling, which indicates that probably a good idea to be walking this way. And, well, they've already fallen, so they're not going to fall again. Well, there's more to fall still.
An important thing to keep in mind is that these weren't professionals with prior experience of safely exploring abandoned mines. This was just a group of boys looking to do something cool and film the adventure. They could have easily plunged to their deaths down a 1,000-foot mine shaft or gotten lost in the miles-long maze of tunnels, which started looking more and more likely as time went on.
Yeah, we got to remember where we're... Okay, we got out here. Who painted these X's in the Grant? What do they mean? Get in. Okay, they're all got an X on them. We can go this way. That one's got an X. But it's also got that. What does the diamond mean? Where's that go? Goes down. Along there. Ooh, that's not a little. Well, it'd be kind of hard if you slipped and fell. You could catch yourself before you actually fell down there. Not if panic set in and you scream like a little girl.
Toxic gases and radioactive...
Man, ain't nowhere in the hell I'll go into a cave like that with all those different trails and stuff, man. We would get lost, you know what I'm saying, so freaking quick. I feel like they may be lost right now and don't even freaking know it. Oh no, man. Oh freaking no. Live talking about the Junko. I always say Junko. The Junko Furuta case, I believe, was on Japan somewhere. I think they are bad with that, but I do know South Korea has a bad rep from what I've seen, at least, as well of giving low sentences, if at all. Like, yes, man, I agree. Live. I was born in 1986. 1986. I was born in 1991. 5 years after you, little girl. Oh, thought they was talking about 1986. It was 1998. Yes, this was 1998 where they decided to go into this cave. And not only is it 1998, little girl, it's literally the 4th of July, which is coming up in 2025 next freaking Friday for us. You know what I'm saying? But for the 4th of July, they decided to celebrate Independence Day by going in this freaking cave, and they can potentially get lost because it got a lot of different trails and routes up in this thing. Let's go.
Elements could have also caused serious health issues down the line, if not immediately. Fortunately, they somehow managed to avoid all of these dangers and make their way fairly deep into the mine. But then they came across something that could have ended all of their lives in one fell swoop.
Got them pipes. Oh, wow. We have to climb that.
Yeah, don't everybody get up.
I got
You're gonna be the lucky one to fall.
This is going to America's Funniest when somebody falls. That's a good idea. All righty. Oh, that's table. Don't touch that.
the ropes.
While crossing a sketchy section of the mine, one of the boys noticed a rope dangling down from one of the wooden beams and immediately became curious about whatever was down there.
Down to the main shaft. Wow, so we're climbing down this rope. Yeah. How far down? How are we getting out of it? Climbing up it. I see.
They had little rope climbing experience between them. However, they didn't let that stop them from accomplishing their desires. The guy named Adam decided to be the first one to descend, resulting in this.
How far down does it go?
All the way down to that ladder. See where it's going down?
We're
Like a good 30 feet.
We're like gonna hook this
I'll go
camera.
first. I am. About 300 feet. You don't like to break up. You don't like to... Put it like he's doing it in your mouth. Yeah. It's all like this. Is it off now?
No, it's like how am I gonna get this thing down there? Yeah, but how am I gonna get back up? I don't have.
Hey, good. Give you my belt. Straight on.
Oh. Adam! Oh! Adam! Oh! Adam! Yes. Adam! Oh God! Oh God! Somebody help! Adam!
The rope Adam chose to trust was completely worn and gave way shortly after putting his weight on it. This caused him to plunge 65 feet down a dark mine shaft and lose consciousness. Luckily, none of the damage he took on his way down was immediately lethal. He was still breathing. His friends were able to find an exit and contact the authorities, who eventually rescued Adam after an hours-long rescue mission. Ultimately, them escaping the mine without any casualties was nothing short of a miracle. The mine shaft could have easily been over 100 feet deep, or Adam could have just as easily hit his head on the surrounding wall. Both of these scenarios would have resulted in his death. What's even worse is that the whole group could have gotten stranded in the shaft if the rope broke when the last person was going down. With no way to contact the outside world, the group would have likely died of starvation. Fortunately, they were able to walk away from this terrifying experience with just a few broken bones along with cuts and scratches.
Boy, they was lucky as elf to get away with that one. Like, seriously, Adam, the whole group, all y'all was just lucky. Y'all was doing some crazy, dangerous-ish, but you was able to survive, man. Like Jim and I said, phew, wipe my forehead off. Like, whoo, glad that y'all freaking survived that one, dude, because that could have ended a lot freaking worse. This level of blind confidence is dangerous. I agree 100%, Diana. Like, dude, what the hell are y'all doing? And B Illy, I like to say it like that. B-Illy says, Japan just executed a Twitter killer yesterday, Takahiro Sharushi. I don't know who that is, but I'm glad they executed him if he a freaking murderer. Long story short, story long. And it's also crazy because I probably have watched the video about him and just don't remember that name. but that is good to know if he is a freaking bad guy. Oh, Lively says, "Oh, really, be illy? That's good. That is freaking good, man. They were super lucky. I agree, little girl. I agree. Man, that could have went so much worse. Like the video footage that we found, like somebody could have found it like years later after all of them have passed away because they got stuck in the cave and they died. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't find their way out. Adam, he fell to his death and nobody came and saved him. Like it could have been a lot worse. Let's go. I think we got one more story from Chilling Scares, y'all. Then we're going to Outlaw.
On the 25th of February 2022, the Perea Fuel Company hired maintenance workers to reopen one of the underwater pipes connecting their oil unloading dock and refinery. The operation team included 5 men: Christopher, Kazim, Yusuf, Rishi, and Faisal. They were going to use a pressurized habitat to inspect the pipe and make any necessary repairs. However, shortly after entering this habitat, all 5 men disappeared from the work site, leaving those on the surface to wonder what could have happened. It wasn't until rescuers found footage from a GoPro mounted to one of the divers' suits that the full truth came to light. The footage showed the men struggling to open the valve keeping the pipe shut, prompting Kazim to go get a wrench. He returned to the habitat and handed the wrench over to his co-workers. But then, a few seconds later, this happened. The moment the valve was opened, its low pressure created a powerful vacuum. Water rushed into the habitat, while the pressurized air violently forced everyone into the pipe. All 5 of the men were forced into the 30-inch wide pipe, faster than they could blink.
Oh.
After tumbling through the metal pipe,
I think I remember this one from Mr. Ballin. Or am I wrong, Lively? Let me know, because you said, no, I hate this one. It's so sad. Where did we hear this story from? I feel like I've heard about this story, but I can't remember exactly from who. But this is just terrible. This is a terrible way to go. Then you, not only are you going, you passing away by yourself, but you passing away with a lot of people. You're stuck in this dark pipeline, you know what I'm saying? Y'all all kind of like squeezed and stuck together, getting sucked in. Like, oh my God. Little girl says, yep, it was Mr. Ballin. I thought that was Mr. Ballin, man. Futuristic 80s, another member of the Bean Team All-Stars, have showed up and said, yes, I love and hate this one because the company the guy worked for was so problematic. And they are initially alive. Shake my head. They did them dirty. Yes, we heard it from Mr. B and someone else, I think. Yeah, I remember this story, y'all. Shout out to Futuristic 80s one more time. Glad you are here. Let's go.
Pipe at violent speeds for a minute and a half. They came to a stop at a section containing a small air pocket, just enough to keep them alive, allowing them a brief moment to find their bearings and assess the gravity of their situation. All of them were barely breathing, and one of them had also injured his leg. And while the air pocket was keeping them alive for the moment, it wasn't going to last very long. So, with no other option, the 2 men at the front, Christopher and Faisal, started moving forward in hopes of reaching the pipe's end and getting help for the other 3. But after making their way through several flooded sections, Faisal lost hope and refused to go any further. This left Christopher to continue alone, and ultimately reach the end of the pipe, where he was eventually pulled out by rescuers. Unfortunately, the same did not happen for his 4 co-workers. Days passed, and the rescue efforts were slim to none, eventually leaving the other 4 to die in that cramped metal tube. The company's CEO later defended this decision, stating that a rescue mission would have only endangered more lives. The incident sparked widespread outrage and even forced the regional government to launch an inquiry into how such a disaster was allowed to happen in the first place. But, as is the case with countless similar incidents, nothing much came of it, despite the numerous hearings. The other 4 divers were left for dead. That said, the Trinidad government did announce a compensation of $1 million for each of their families, as well as Christopher, in April 2025. On April 28,
Man, fuck that $1 million. That damn $1 million ain't doing nothing for me. You let my goddamn brother, my son, my uncle, my cousin, you know what I'm saying, whoever in my family or even just a friend down there to freaking die and suffer. We hear the audio footage of them talking to each other, and we got to think about being team. They screaming out to each other and talking to each other, but it's pitch black. They can't see each other. They're in this small little pipeline, and they had to suffer like that for days until they actually died. You got to think about that. Some of them died before other ones died. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm up in this thing, stuck, claustrophobic, whatever. And now I know that my other friend has died, and now I'm suffering for another day before I eventually pass away. Like, it's just terrible suffering that they went through. And the whole, we couldn't do a rescue mission because we were going to endanger other lives from the government or the company or whoever said that it's just some complete BS too. That's one of those ones that get me peed off and got me freaking pointing my finger at the damn camera like I'm peed off at y'all. But I'm not peed off at y'all, being team. I'm just peed off at the situation. Oh my freaking God, man. Rest in peace to these guys. Won't bring them back. Why they think that'll do anything? That's I don't like. Come on, man. I guarantee you, every member of their family, they would bring, if they had the power to keep them alive or take the $1 million, they gonna keep them alive. Like the money. I just hope that the families do something good with the money. I'll just leave it at that. Futuristic 80 says, rest in peace to the other. This story reminds me of Ocean Gate Titan crash. I don't know what that is, Futuristic 80s, but I do remember that story. I do remember that story. Let me do the 10-second. Hold on, y'all.
1000.
Let me take it back 10 seconds just so we can get the last chilling scare from start to the end. Let's go, my friends.
For each of their families, as well as Christopher, in April 2025. On April 28, 2000, 22-year-old Russian diving instructor Yuri Lipsky decided to reach the depths of the Blue Hole in Dahab, Egypt. This was a risky plan from the get-go, since the Blue Hole is widely regarded as the deadliest diving site in the world, with as many as 200 fatalities in recent years. To make matters worse, before his dive, Yuri asked a local technical diver to accompany him on his journey. All of them rejected him, since the preparations for this risky of a dive took as long as a week. Yet Yuri wanted to go in just 2 days, no matter what. Even after every instructor refused to support his plan, instead of backing out, Yuri made the worst mistake of his life and chose to go through with it alone. He started the dive around noon and quickly disappeared into the depths of the ocean. However, many hours passed, and there was no sign of Yuri anywhere. His concerned mother enlisted the help of a local technical diver named Tariq Omar, who immediately set out to rescue her son. Unfortunately, by the time he found Yuri, it was already too late. Tariq discovered Yuri's lifeless body floating near the floor of the Blue Hole. The next day, he returned with the necessary equipment to bring Yuri's body back to the surface and got to work. But as he was about to take Yuri back, he noticed that Yuri's diving camera was lying nearby. So he grabbed that as well and began ascending. This camera had captured the final moments of Yuri in haunting detail. The dive started like any other, with Yuri swimming alongside many other divers. However, it wasn't long before everyone else faded from view as he started to descend deeper into the Blue Hole. And that's when all the worst possible things started happening in rapid succession. It started with him failing to keep his gas levels under check, resulting in him getting nitrogen poisoning and becoming extremely disoriented. By the time he realized his situation, he was already sinking like a rock. He started panicking and began inflating his buoyancy control device quickly to avoid sinking any further. Tragically, this backfired. The buoyancy control device bursted due to the rapidly increasing pressure, leaving Yuri no way of safely returning to the surface. The increasing depth exacerbates the symptoms of nitrogen poisoning as well, and it wasn't long before his camera captured the horrific sounds of him struggling to breathe, ending with him sinking to the 377 feet or 115 meters deep sea floor and passing away. The only silver lining in this whole situation is that there's a good chance the found footage helped at least one diver avoid a similar fate by learning from the mistakes that cost Yuri his life.
Man, rest in peace to Yuri. And it's so crazy seeing and hearing that last footage of him being alive, y'all, because it's like you can just hear his last breaths. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really hear the panic, because if he would have panicked in that situation, as far as like screaming and stuff, he would just inhaled or drowned. He would have drowned faster. But it was still just an impeding death that we heard and seen from that video, man. Rest in peace. We got Ice Pub 3, Bing Ting. This is my third stream. I remember you, Ice Pub. I remember you, Ice Pub 3. Happy you stopped by too, man. Happy you freaking stopped by. Futuristic 80 says, dying underwater in the deep ocean is scary as hell. And one thing I learned, y'all, from watching these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious, what is going on type of videos, when we hear about stories like these, as far as like the underwater people who be scuba diving or whatever, I never knew until I started to watch these stories that like when you go so far up under the ocean, you just can't rise back up to the top at one time. Like you have to take your time because of the pressure and the inhaling. I don't even know all the details, but you know what I'm saying, man. Like you just can't go all these hundreds of feet deep and then just rise back up. You got to take your time with the tubes. I never knew none of that, and it just adds another layer to how dangerous that it really is, man. It really is, dang thing. Let me freaking hit that like button on Chillin' Scares. And I ain't said it yet, man. If you ain't hit the like button on our live stream, Bean Team, make sure you hit the like button on our live stream too, y'all. And we're gonna go to the last freaking channel. And also, real quick, because they right here, and I know y'all can see it. Number one, we gotta go back to Ryan from Tragedy Tales, y'all. We're gonna go back to him. That video will be released on Tuesday. We're going back to Tragedy Tales. And also, you know, tomorrow I will be releasing the newest video from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ballin', another Mr. Ballin' Sunday. And it's crazy because this is why I felt like I really had to do this live stream, because I'm like, damn, Chillin' Scares and the Lazy Man release new videos. We got Mr. Baller, we got Tragedy Tales. I'm expecting Nick Crowley to put out a new video pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Nick Crowley ain't put out a new video in like a month now. So we know he overdue, Being Team. We got to go to Mike from that chapter. Like, we've been booming over here on our channel, y'all. We got a lot to freaking get into. And that's why we are getting into it. That's why we are getting into it. Scarface 2 Society, Bean Team. What up, Scarface? Happy to see you back, bro. I ain't seen you in a while, man. I ain't seen you in a freaking while. But I digress, Bean Team. Let's go to the last video. And it's come from Outlaw. Outlaw, y'all. I really like Outlaw's channel, man. The videos that we have watched from Outlaw, I have really like enjoyed and really thought they have did a great job. So hey, let's get into this last one, Being Team, and we're gonna wrap it up. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let me do that.
Police.
Stop it one more time. Take it back. Let's go.
Hey, police. Hello.
This is the last thing Officer Jimmy Inn saw before his life was taken in the blink of an eye.
Hold on, time out. Because I didn't do it justice. I didn't do it justice, so I just seen what we just seen. We are going back to Outlaw, Bean Team, but check the title of the video out. When cops die on duty. Now that adds a lot more context now that I see the title of the video of just the scene we just seen. Let's go.
Hey, police.
Hello. This is the last thing Officer Jimmy N saw before his life was taken in the blink of an eye.
Hey, stay with me. Officer!
And unfortunately, countless other officers have met the same brutal fate while on duty.
We got 3 officers down. 3 officers down.
Here are 7 chilling cases of officers who never made it home. Viewer discretion is advised. At approximately 5 p.m. on February 11th, 2024, Las Cruces police officer Jonah Hernandez responded to a trespassing report from a property owner on South Valley Drive.
989, Central 97. How's it going, boss?
The owner stated that the property had a history of repeated trespassing, vandalism, and reports of erratic behavior. While that might have made him slightly more alert, Officer Hernandez had no idea what he was walking into.
You been staying here for a while? What's up? Is this your place? So you're the one who called? You're the one who called? I didn't call. Huh? I didn't call.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
While out with his girlfriend, a bystander saw the officer being attacked, grabbed his gun from the car, and ran to help. In response, the suspect lunged at him with a kitchen knife, leaving him no choice but to open fire.
Hell yeah, you gotta open fire. You got to shoot that crazy motherfucker. Fuck that shit. Hell no. No, Bean Team. You got to end him. Seriously. Ain't no more talking. There is no more talking that needs to happen. It is all about the chitty bang bang at this point. Seriously, man. Oh my freaking God, Livy. What the fuck, futuristic 80s? What is this, inflow? Let's go.
Officer, hey, where are you bleeding? Hey, stay with me. Hey, sir, officer, hey.
The suspect, who was later identified as 29-year-old Armando Silva, a man with a history of criminal behavior and mental illness, was shot and killed by 29-year-old Isaiah Astorga. Authorities recognized it as self-defense and did not press any charges against him. Officer Jonah Hernandez was rushed to the hospital, but sadly he didn't survive his injuries. Around 9:45 a.m. on
rest in peace to Hernandez. But shout out to the dude who killed the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying, man? If I was in that situation, I promise you, I would have been the same way. I would have shot the shit out of that crazy motherfucker, man. Oh my God, just seeing it all actually happen on camera, and we know that it's real life. This is not a movie. This is not a TV show, Being Team. That was real. It's just like, dude, it's like, bro, like Livy said, rest in peace. Prayer hands from Scarface. Let's go. We start. Hey, I promise you, man, Outlaw videos, I think they might have some of the most what the is going on type of videos you can ever watch, y'all. Let's keep going. We just getting started.
May 11th, 2021, Stockton police received reports of a domestic disturbance involving a woman.
911, what is your emergency?
They're screaming, yelling, the windows are shaking. Is everything okay? I think my man is going crazy over there. He's been acting really strange the last couple days. I just think.
Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's black. But I don't really know what's going on, but I see the windows shaking, the lady screaming, yelling for help. I'm not sure. I think the kids may be at school, but it looks pretty serious over there.
911, what is your emergency?
I see the wife leaving now, so I don't. Her shirt is ripped.
And there's a male and a female?
Huh?
There's a male and a female?
Yes, a male, female, and a child. It looks like the female's bleeding.
Just 20 minutes later, Officer Jimmy In arrives at the scene and walks straight up to the front door of the house mentioned in the calls, unaware of the danger waiting inside.
Please. Hey, police.
Hello.
Oh! What
Back-
the fuck? Why? Goddamn. Lobby, I have seen you put it in the comments a couple of times this live stream. 0 to 100 real quick. That's 0 to 1 million. Put 1 million. 0 to 1 million real quick. Dude just opened the door and immediately opened fire. That's why people scared to be freaking police out here, because of dangerous ish like that. 0 to 1 million real quick. Real quick, whole squad on some real shit.
Backup Officer Pancho Freer arrives on the scene as gunshots ring out, spots the shooter standing over Officer In with a gun in hand, and fires immediately from his patrol car.
58 shot fired, shot fired. Partner's down. Jimmy, you all right? 58 shots fired, my partner is down. Code 3 now.
2 Baker 58.
Shots fired, my partner is down. Jimmy! Jimmy, stay with me!
But this is only the beginning of the shooter's horrifying actions, as he then grabs his 8-year-old son and begins to strangle him in an attempt to make Officer Freer back off.
Don't do it! Let the kid go! Don't do it!
Oh no, man. Hell no. I know I'm stopping in a light beam team, but hell no, man. Not only this dude, he don't need just life in prison. This one of those people that I really feel like need the fucking death penalty. At this point, you know what I'm saying, man? Not only did he just immediately shoot a police officer for no fucking reason, just shot the damn police officer, and I think Jimmy is dead because Jimmy is not responding to his partner. Not only that, now he is using his 8-year-old son as like a shield. It's like a protection from the police. Like this man, no, man, no, Lobby. No, Diana, this guy is freaking insane. What the is going on? Yeah, he needs to go under the jail to hell. You know what I'm saying, man? I agree, bro. This mother is crazy. No, and the fact that he bringing his son into the equation, that's what's disturbing me more than anything right now.
I want you let the kid go, man. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill you.
2 Baker 58.
Don't let the kid go, man.
2 PM 70, no response from 2 Baker 58.
50, I need units code 3. He's strangling the kid and my partner is down. Let the kid go. Let him go. Let him go. Let go of the kid.
That's when a neighbor hurls himself into the chaos like a true hero, tackling the suspect and forcing him to release the child. The shooter was identified as 30-year-old Lance Lowe, who had been released on supervised parole in April 2020 after serving time for grand theft. First responders got there quickly and fought to keep both Officer In and Lance Lowe alive, but in the end, neither survived. Around 9 a.m. on November 29th,
Damn, man, rest in peace to Jimmy and F you to the whatever the other dude was named. Like, dude, man, it's effed up from the beginning, but the part I just stick on when he brought his little child into the situation. Like, that police officer could have killed your damn child, dude. You sitting up there choking him. Like, Lord be with us. That's all I can say, man. God just try to keep humanity. Help us keep humanity as best as it can be. Oh my freaking God, man. Good job for the neighbor. Yes, love girl. Yes, freaking love girl. Shout out to the neighbor for tackling him and ending that madness. Let's go, y'all.
2024, Detective Alan Reddins and several police officers responded to a report of an armed person who had just left the Chase Bank near the Oak Park Public Library.
Officer, I got one with a khaki coat, black hat, about to walk into the Oak Park Library. Blue jeans, white shoes.
Khaki color, blue jeans, white shoes, walking to the Oak Park Library.
Can I talk to you for a second, sir?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Keep your hands reach. No, keep your hands. Don't reach.
Don't reach, bro. Don't reach. Keep your hands up.
All three shots fired, shot fired.
The suspect fires a total of 6 rounds before looking for cover at the nearby library. As one of the officers shouts into the radio for backup, more officers arrive to nab the man.
Here's the library. Still in front.
Manny, where is he? Where is he?
That's where you're talking to him.
Having tracked down the suspect's position, officers begin encircling the area to trap him inside.
Roll shut down.
He's north.
He's standing by a pillar over by the library on the north side.
Stop moving towards him.
5012, be advised, I'm on this east. I'm on this flank on the east.
The cops give the man one last chance to surrender, but after receiving no response, one of the officers spots a clear view and takes his chance.
Drop your weapon! Drop your weapon! He's behind the last pillar.
That's where you're talking to him.
Brown coat. Looks like he's got a Glock.
Oh.
What unit is it on tonight?
I got him.
Oh.
He's down. I got him. Go. Put down. Down.
Get out! Grove in Ontario.
5012, I fired 2 shots. To struggle. He's down.
Officers successfully neutralized the criminal. However, the way it was handled left room for criticism. 2 cops fired a total of 6 rounds, 4 from a rifle and 2 from a handgun, and only 1 bullet struck him in the leg. One of the bullets made its way into the library, where it could have easily hit a civilian.
Area, there's a...
On the ground! Suspect down, start rolling EMS. My leg! Bugs behind me on the ground. How bad is he? Where you shot?
My head on my leg.
My leg! Which leg?
Oh, hell no. Now you screaming like a little bitch. Seriously? You sitting up there on the goddamn ground hollering like a little bitch that you done got shot now after you done started. You the reason that all this have happened. You know what I'm saying, man? And shout out to Inflow too. Inflow said, I thought at one point in my life I wanted to be a police officer. But nah, not for me. It's not for me either, Inflow. It is not for me. Now, I have no problem with these freaking police shooting at this guy the amount of times they did. The only thing that's kind of effed up is it's right by a library. One of the bullets went inside the window. So I can understand the criticism of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just tripping off how this dude hollering. I'm going to take this back 10 seconds just so y'all can hear it again. Like, are you serious? Same for like a split minute, just like I thought of being an 911 operator. It's no, after some stuff I heard on those calls. Yes, 911 dispatchers, operators, they go through it too. They go through it freaking too, man. He was so ready to hold that gun. He was ready to get shot. For real, dumbass want to scream and cry. Like now you want to freaking cry like that. Yes, Lively, some of them need to not be there. Let me take this back being thing just so we can hear the ridiculousness of, oh, my leg.
My leg. Which leg? Which leg?
I may have hit him in the head, so check his head.
The shooter was identified as Jarrell Thomas, a 37-year-old Chicago man with an extensive criminal history, including prior convictions for aggravated battery against police, and who allegedly stole a .40 caliber pistol from his sister just days before the shooting. Detective Alan Reddins, one of the first officers to respond to the scene, tragically lost his life after being shot by Thomas during the initial intervention. Reddins became the first officer with the Oak Park Police Department to die in the line of duty in nearly 85 years. Jarrell Thomas remains in custody, awaiting trial on 56 felony counts, including first-degree murder. In July 2020,
and he, long story short, story long, he need to be locked up for the rest of his life. I'm sorry, man. I have no remorse for people who do any of these type of crimes. Just lock them up for the rest of their life and be done with it. Just be done with it. Flow sounded like the guy on SpongeBob. My leg, my freaking leg. Now he want to scream. He should have thought about that when he decided to make a dumb decision. What a dumb ass. I agree, Scarface, 100%.
4 Fargo police officers responded to a traffic crash, completely unaware they were walking into an ambush.
Oh!
Central, we got shots fired. Central, we got shots fired. Central, we got a man with an AK-47. He's shooting at us. We're at
know how outlaw stuff be on YouTube, being team. I feel like I'm watching stuff from the dark web. Like seriously, how in the hell is he getting away with showing actual real shootouts? A man shoot, like actually shoot. Maybe I need to shut up myself before YouTube take my reaction to the video off. Outlaw be getting away with some crazy ish, or am I tripping? Like we watch videos from evil body cam footage and Midwest safety, and we do see some type of gunshot situations, but I feel like outlaw ish be on another level. Maybe I'm just tripping. I'm gonna take this back too. This went from 0 to 100 real quick, like Lobby said. Let's go.
Traffic crash, completely unaware they were walking into an ambush.
Central, we got shots fired. Central, we got shots fired. Central, we got a man with an AK-47. He's shooting at us. We're at Central, shots fired, shots fired. We got 3 officers down. 3 officers down.
Oh my
Send everybody.
God.
As the officer comes face to face with the shooter, the hail of gunfire shows no sign of stopping.
Stop moving! Stop moving! Put Fargo 534, 3 officers down. Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Despite being shot multiple times, the shooter still refuses to give up, leaving the officer no choice but to unleash the rounds that finally bring him down.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
And I don't blame that officer at all, y'all. I would have did the same thing. I probably would have did it a lot earlier than him. He was still telling him, drop the gun, drop the gun. Shit, with me, it wouldn't have been no more fun because I would have been pulled my gun.
Drop the gun!
He's the only one?
He's the only one.
The suspect, 37-year-old Mohammed Barakat, was captured on his own apartment surveillance cameras the night before the shooting, assembling a shotgun, strapping on a tactical vest, and loading his vehicle with rifles, 1,800 rounds of ammo, gas cans, and homemade explosives. According to investigators, he had been searching terms like mass shooting events and crowded area events, pointing to a likely plan to attack a public gathering before ultimately ambushing police at a nearby crash scene instead. Critically wounded in the attack, officers Andrew Dodas and Tyler Hawes survived, along with a bystander caught in the line of fire. Sadly, 23-year-old officer Jake Wallen was among those who didn't survive. Officer Zach Robinson was the last standing officer at the scene and successfully took down the shooter. On the late night of June 29th,
That was a crazy one, man. And I agree with Lively right here. I don't understand what they think is going to happen by shooting at the popo. Like, seriously, like, there is nothing that you can get out of shooting at the police. There is nothing. Seriously, because at the end of the day, it's way more police in this world than it is you. It's, you know what I'm saying, man? Yes, you may kill one, you may kill two. But at the end of the day, either you gonna die or you gonna go to prison for the rest of your life. Like, there is nothing you gonna get out of that, but just terrible for the rest of your life. Whether you're dead or you're alive, there's nothing to get out of that, man. Man, rest in peace, 5. Yeah, man. Like, let's go, y'all. Outlaw with another great video.
9th, 2020, Officer Arash Zarkashan initiated a routine traffic stop on a car with an expired tag in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But when he ran the driver's information, it came back to 33-year-old David Anthony Ware, a man with a long history of narcotics offenses. Sensing the situation could escalate, Officer Zarkashan called for backup. Soon, Sergeant Craig Johnson arrived. Together, they approached the vehicle, not knowing tragedy was just moments away.
All right, David. Said you have a driver's license? You said you have a driver's license?
Yes, I just used it because I had.
Here's the deal.
So won jackpot, so they had my license.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the jackpot right now. So what I need you to do is step out of the vehicle.
What?
Well, first let me ask you one more time. Do you have anything in the vehicle? I need.
Why are you shining that in my face? I can't.
So I can
I'm trying to talk to you, but you're shining that light.
Do you have anything in the vehicle? Because you've got a history of narcotics.
I know, and y'all always me just because I have a history. Mm-hmm. Can I get my ticket and go, man?
Step out of the vehicle. Come on.
Dude. It's not. You wouldn't be here if you didn't pull out in front of a cop car.
From the outset, it was clear to the officers that David wasn't going to cooperate easily. And as his resistance grew stronger, the officers resorted to threats in an attempt to gain his compliance.
So we need you to step out of the car.
Now.
You have two choices. You can step out of the car.
Or I can drag you out.
Or we can tase you.
For what?
You're not.
This is y'all are breaking.
Look, hey.
Y'all are.
Step out of the car. Now.
This is my
Do you want to get tased?
Why are y'all doing this?
Because you're refusing to follow a lawful order. I need you to step out of the
not
car.
lawful order.
It is a lawful order, and I will tase you if you do not get out of the car.
Man, this is
you have a choice. Get out of the car under your own power,
please,
or I will. I am the supervisor.
Please,
I'm a sergeant.
Hey, dude, just step out of the car right now. Otherwise, you are getting tased.
Do I need to arc it one more time?
What?
Step out of the vehicle now.
I don't have to.
Yes, you do.
Apart from refusing to step out of the vehicle, David pushed the officer's buttons even further by calling his friend Matthew Hall, who would later play a role in the case.
Please.
Hey, don't be reaching for...
phone. Help, Matt.
Dude, get off the phone now.
My rights.
We're going to...
Man, he looking at the police as having as much patience and giving him as much grace as they is. You know what I'm saying, man? They repeating over and over. Get out the car. He steadily not listening to him, getting on the phone with his friends. Like, dude, you lucky that they ain't just effed you up right now. Seriously.
It. I'm going to tase you in 3, 2, 1. Do you want it or not?
Please don't
step out of the car.
I'm not.
Step out of the vehicle now.
No, I know my rights.
You know nothing. Get out of the car.
You can't shoot me. I'm not doing it.
I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to tase you. There is a difference. Or I can deploy OC because you've been given a lawful command to step out of the car.
Lawful command to step out of the car. I don't have to.
Get out of the car, or I will tase you and I will drag you.
Matt, please come over here and witness this.
Despite the continuous warnings, David refused to hang up the call with his friend Matt, finally forcing the sergeant to follow through on his threat.
No, y'all, this is my car, y'all.
Taser! I'm going to hit him. Are you ready?
Ready.
Just get out of the car!
You do? Oh! What the?
Get out of the car! Get out!
What the?
Back up. You want to get sprayed?
No.
Get out!
Okay.
Now!
I'm getting out.
Get out of the car now, or I will spray you on the ground.
On the ground, man. I don't want to go to jail, Spot.
Get out of the car. Get out now!
And yet David still refused to comply, leaving both officers with no choice but to use physical force.
Help. Left arm.
Help.
I got this arm.
Man, help! Help! Help!
Get out of the car!
Help!
David in gear.
Help!
David, you want to get sprayed? I'm going to spray you again.
But in this moment, David made a move that turned the entire situation on its head. David Anthony Ware shot both officers in the head and was charged with first-degree murder, felony shooting with intent to kill, possession of a firearm, and some other offenses. Sergeant Craig Johnson didn't survive his injuries, while Officer Zarkashan was badly hurt but ultimately pulled through, though he was left with permanent memory loss, cognitive issues, and physical damage that led him to leave the force. David was sentenced to death for first-degree murder, while his friend Matthew Hall was convicted as an accessory for helping David escape, picking him up after the shooting, hiding the gun, and lying to police during the investigation. Matthew was sentenced to 24 years in prison. However, his sentence was later reduced to 12 years. On September 1st, 2024.
Oh my God, man. Dude, I didn't expect it to go where it went, and it went there so freaking quick. Rest in peace to the officer who died, and then the other officer who survived. He is not even the same man anymore. He is now disabled for the rest of his freaking life. Like, man, what the damn? What the? You right, Scarface? Like, what the? No, Gemini, no. What the freak? Damn. Rest in peace to freaking Craig. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that whole 12 years thing, bro. I don't know what that is. Who made his sentence 12 years? So annoying when the police give a person a million chances and they end like that. That's the thing. They kept giving them chances, and all of a sudden, They ain't got no more chances. Meaning that officer who lost his life. Rest in peace. Let's go, y'all. I think we got one more or maybe two more. Let's go.
Deputies from multiple law enforcement agencies across state lines responded to reports of an alleged kidnapping involving a white Sierra pickup truck. At approximately 8:45 p.m., deputies from the Iroquois County Sheriff's Department began pursuing 37-year-old Andrew Roselius, who was reportedly armed and had taken a hostage. The chase crossed into Indiana, where deputies from the Newton County Sheriff's Office joined the pursuit. It later returned to Illinois, ultimately ending when Roselius crashed his vehicle in Sheldon.
Which Tahoe? Right behind him. Right behind him? Right behind him. Passenger side Tahoe shield. Show me your hands. Show us your hands. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. We're trying to help you, boss. We're trying to help you, boss.
The standoff drags on, with officers shouting for Roselius to surrender. He remains uncooperative and then makes a sudden, shocking move.
Sir, put your hands on the roof. Put your hands on the roof. Pepperball gun. I'm holding your shield, brother. I got a rifle. Get one up here and start pumping it. Show me your hands. Leave them on the roof of the truck. Gun, 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 gun.
No.
Gun.
Oh.
The shot struck Newton County.
Boy, they fucked them up real quick.
Deputy Corporal Brandon Schreiber. An Iroquois County deputy returned fire, killing Roselius at the scene. No hostage was found in the vehicle. Corporal Brandon Schreiber died 10 days later from injuries sustained in the incident. The state attorney ruled the shooting justified, and no further legal action was taken. In the early morning hours,
Rest in peace to the guy who died. But if you seen the police, they couldn't have like returned fire any quicker than they did. Like they was on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the freaking suspect got off the first shots, and the first shots ended up killing that officer. Man, being a police officer, boy, that shit dangerous as hell, man. Seriously, it is literally one of those jobs where you know every day you go to work, it could be your last day alive. Like you literally putting your freaking life on the line at any time. Almost like the military. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that in a way.
of January 23, 1991, Constable Daryl Lunsford pulled over a suspicious vehicle for speeding. Inside the car were 3 Hispanic men who could only be described as sketchy.
I'll be with you just one second. First turn his headlights off, he killed the engine, didn't he? Got me look at the trunk.
What Constable Lunsford doesn't yet realize is that he has just pulled over traffickers running nearly 30 pounds of illegal substances from Houston to Chicago, all of it hidden in the trunk.
Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? How about this here? Do what?
Yeah, see, he's got the license.
Oh.
Constable Lunsford was brutally kicked, punched, and stabbed multiple times. In a final act of violence, one of the men grabbed his service weapon and shot him before fleeing the scene. Sadly, Constable Lunsford died on the spot before any help could arrive. The 3 men responsible were later identified as Baldemar Villarreal, Reynaldo Villarreal, and Jesus Cortez Zambrano. Baldemar, who pulled the trigger, received a life sentence. Reynaldo was sentenced to 40 years, and Jesus, the only one who pleaded guilty, was given 30 30 years. The footage of Lunsford's murder was circulated among police departments for training. Just 8 months later, it paid off. Another Texas officer pulled over a suspicious vehicle, also carrying 3 Hispanic men who, by eerie coincidence, turned out to be drug traffickers. One of them pulled a gun, but the officer reacted instantly and shot him dead. He later credited the footage of Lunsford's murder for saving his life, saying it taught him to always stay alert.
Man, well, I guess you could say at least somebody learned. You know what I'm saying? That man, the first officer, I can't remember his name being seen, but the first officer's life wasn't in vain. Somebody learned from that with the second incident of killing the freaking drug traffickers in the second incident. But man, this freaking video from Outlaw, y'all, just got me all like, what the freak is going on? Got me all over the place. Like, wow, dude. Freaking police out here, man. They really freaking go through it, being seen. They freaking go through it, man. You're like, it's one of those occupations. It's one of those jobs where you never know. And for some police officers, you know, they go do things or whatever where they're not really in the line of fire, so to speak. But these police officers that have to pull over vehicles and don't know who in the vehicle and don't know what they really got going on, as we seen in one of the videos, as soon as the police pull up to the house, the man opened the door and started shooting. Like, dude, man, they can go from 0 to 100 real quick. Shout out to Lively Galaxy because she was saying it from the beginning, man. Gemini also says it turns lethal in a second. Love Girl, good videos. Yeah, man, we watched some good videos from the Lazy Man, from Chilling Scares, and Outlaw. Those were crazy. I agree, Bean Team. I thought we was gonna be here for like 2 hours, but we have went over 2 hours by a little bit, y'all. But I appreciate y'all coming on back as always for another live stream. I'm gonna try to be back next week. I'm trying to keep these live streams going every week. I appreciate y'all being here. Before y'all leave, just please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And remember this: love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.